Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Really, how are you? Welcome to episode 20 of Is It Expired? As always, here is my disclaimer. Please don't use expired makeup. I know what the consequences can potentially be. I'm taking those risks for myself. I don't recommend others do as I do. I know I've had a couple people asking for inventory videos. I did try to start those a couple days ago, and I don't know what happened, but half the footage got erased. Poof, into the void. So I do have to backtrack and revamp and recenter myself in order to go about that again, but I promise they are coming. It is on my list. That was just a weird setback. It is what it is. The purpose of this particular project, lot of alliteration today, is simply due to the fact that I have hundreds upon hundreds of products, makeup products specifically. This doesn't even include my skincare, my hair care, my body care. Don't even get me started. This is specifically makeup products that I have hundreds of, that I have been collecting for just over 10 years, and I want to get some use out of them. There are so many that just get lost in the abyss, and this is a way for me to utilize a random number generator that picks 5 items out of my list, which is my inventory, that I'm also going to show with the actual inventory, and I use those for a week. I see if anything's changed, if anything's weird, if they smell funny, and if that's the case, they get decluttered. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep using them. So far, so good. We're 20 weeks in, and yes, I have had to declutter some things have gone dry, some things have gone rancid, but as for my face, so far, so good. No weird reactions yet. So let's see what we pulled last week that we got to play with. I actually got ready a lot last week, so there are going to be quite a few looks that I pop up here, and I had a lot of fun last week. It has been a really tough couple of weeks for me. I had some personal events that were really, really hard on me, and this was essentially my way of getting back to who I am, getting back to myself, and meditation, therapy, and working on me, spending time on me in order for me to heal. So let's see what I got to play with last week. Let's start here. This is the ColourPop Creme Gel Color in the shade Exit, which is just white. Hold on, the top part doesn't want to come off. This I did use a lot, obviously, mostly on the waterline. I tried utilizing it as an actual liner. I don't love this color for eyeliner. I prefer my hydroliners. I prefer a liquid. I don't love the gel. I find that it gets flaky and cracky, and it's not a good look. However, in the waterline, loved it. So I am going to keep that in mind. I have about 4 of these. They're all about 2 years old, and I'm going to remember that's kind of the place for them. So next, I do have the e.l.f. Duo, Face Duo? What are you called? I don't even know. I finally took off the sticker. Sure. In Cantaloupe. It is a highlight and a blush. This was a freebie when I did an e.l.f. order, I think at the end of 2022. So again, not super, super old. Don't love it. The highlighter is gorgeous, but the blush just isn't really my color. It doesn't really work with my skin tone. It kind of washes me out. So I'm going to use that more on my eyes. It was nice to play with. I just found that they're very powdery. Like, as soon as you stick in a brush, everything goes so just keep that in mind if you have these. Maybe it's just me who's using them wrong. That's also possible. I can always blame myself. But don't love this, but I will continue to use it. Hopefully I can get some organic use out of it. This is an interesting one. This is the AOA Studio Waterproof Eye Makeup Seal. Those little words. This is just like a Duraline. It's just a mixing medium. This is only about a year and a half old. I was using it to make my shimmers pop a little bit more, using it for that creme liners to make it a little more creamy. And I do really like this. I think it's something that I will always have handy. And I'm not 100% sure how much the Duraline is, but this is $1. So price point wise, I'm probably going to go with this one just because he's handy and frugal, just like me. I get it. I feel ya. It's something just nice to have around if you want your shimmer to pop a little bit more, if you want, instead of a glitter glue, which I also do have, but it does help with glitter stay on. It will help with things like the jelly shadows that will dry out after time. It adds a little bit of a new life to those. So a lot of uses for this, and I, again, just kind of forgot I had it. I do that. Next. So I always have to genuinely wonder how many brands I do have in my makeup collection, because I always get a little bit of a giggle when the number generator picks 2 of the same brand. Because it's 5 items, and I have to have dozens upon dozens, probably close to 100 makeup brands within my collection, so I always just get a good giggle out of it. This is the Brow Definer Pencil, again, AOA, Shot Missy. Everything from this website is, I believe, about $1 US, so I think it's like $1.55 Canadian. There are a couple things that are like $2. Ooh, big spender. But weird technical difficulties in here. It's fine. I don't know what is going on with the camera. It's just, I thought it deleted more footage. Anyway, generally I do 2 Shot Missy hauls a year, specifically because my brush cleaner, why do I throw everything? My brush cleaner is specifically the brush soaps from Shot Missy. Love them. They get everything out, including in my blenders, and it's phenomenal. So, I do like to test out their new things here and there, and don't get me wrong, some are duds. But more often than not, I actually really like the products. This is one that I was struggling with. So this is the dual-ended brow pencil. Now, I think the only reason I was struggling with this is strictly color. It's a little bit more warm than I would like specifically for my hair. However, now that my roots have started to come out and I've got a little bit of golden happening up there, it matches more. So I just won't dye my hair for a while, I guess. It does have the triangular tip on one end and the itty bitty micro tip on the other, and I do actually like the formula. I think it was fighting with a primer last time because I have been using it with a few different things here and there just to kind of test, and I haven't had that issue except with that particular primer. So it was not reacting properly with it. It would just pill and roll off my face. It is not doing that anymore, and I'm having a lot more success with it, so, which is good because I have 2 of these. And then last, this actually has I gotta give it to SheGlam. They have actual expiry dates on the packaging, not necessarily just on the outer box. So it's a lot more helpful, even though I'm still probably going to ignore it, that's beside the point, to see them there. This does not expire until April of 2025. Allegedly. So, you know what? It's not actually expired. That's exciting. This is only maybe 2.5 years old. I loved playing with this. I used every shade. I had a lot of fun. And I'm going to start putting some looks up here because there are a lot. I got ready a lot. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, it's just my meditation. It's my therapy. It's my me time. So it really just helps me to put a little bit of focus on myself and essentially shut my brain off to everything else that's going on in my life. So I had a ton of fun with this, and I love the pastels, love these colors. There's a lot of dents and dings going on now, which is ideal, which is what you want. It looks used. It had not been touched prior to this project, and that's one of those things, right? I've had it for so long and hadn't touched it, and when I did, I loved it. So I hope I remember that. These are just, they really were stunning. All right. That is last week. That was week 19. I can't believe I've been doing this for 20 weeks. That is bizarre to me. I have like the worst ability to keep up with any sort of project. I will start things and then I will stop them. I have a diamond painting. Actually, I did finish one, so that was good. But I started another one, and it's like I forget about it for just weeks on end, and then I get really into it for like 3 days, and then I forget it again. Is anybody else like that? Is that just me, that I can't keep focused on one thing for a prolonged period of time? What is with the alliteration today? Moving on. This week, week 20. Sorry, still in shock here. This has been going on longer than I expected. There's people actually watching. I did this more for me, I'll be honest. I did it more for me just to utilize my collection, and I'm so happy that people are enjoying it. I really am. I didn't expect that. It was just for my own accountability. So just thanks for being here. Genuinely, really. Let's move on to this week, though. I'm in a mood. I'm always in a mood. It's Saturday. It's beautiful out. I have errands to run. Week 20. Okay. This is the KVD Lock-It Foundation. This foundation has been around for like 10 years. However, this was after the rebrand. This is only about 3 years old, and it does still have this on just for cleanliness. I don't know what I was trying to get out there. Just for cleanliness purposes, it's been used. Not a ton. I think it's an airless pump, so you will see it go up, and it's still full. But I have used it before. I am using it. This is one that you have to be very light-handed with. It's very high coverage, so if you don't want paint, just be gentle. And it's stunning when you're gentle with it. And I'm excited to keep using this. The shade is perfect, which is very rare for me. This is the light 46. Oh, shit. I thought this was the 42. I gotta change some notes here. Just hold, please. This is Estee Lauder. Now, that's a brand that I don't think a lot of necessarily my age or younger uses that often, except for the double wear. We love our double wear. But as for her other products, I don't think we test those a lot. We don't try, we don't play. They're very much tailored to an older clientele, and that's fine. However, I do have a couple things from Lauder, and I adore them. So I don't know why that in my head I'm like, okay, Estee Lauder is very much tailored for an older clientele. This particular collection was absolutely not, and I think it bombed, which makes me so sad because it was so fun. This is the Courreges line. So Lauder got together with a luxury fashion brand, Courreges, and made this very out of this world, literally, because it all seemed very space themed almost. This line that came out probably 8 or 9 years ago. These are really, really old. But it was so fun, and I feel like it was so overlooked. And I'm sad because it was so long ago that there's really nothing I can do about it, but it was so fun. So this is my silver ball. I have 2 of these, and I love them so much. The Ultra Pink. It's literally just called Ultra Pink. So, with that being said, it's just a cream pink. What it's for is up to you. I used it as both a cream blush and a gloss today. It's so pretty. This one I have used quite a few times. You can't really tell, but there is some use on there. The other one that I have has not been touched. So I will not open that one, touch that one until this one is done. If this ends up going, if it does end up being expired, I will check that one as well. However, due to the fact that it has not been tainted by brushes or fingers or anything, it's probably going to last a little bit longer, even though they're already 9 years old. They don't smell like anything. Nothing. There is no scent to them whatsoever. And I have it all over my face today, so we'll find out if it's gone. There's no like residue or anything on it, so far so good. Still, love this line. Speaking of this, there were 2 single shadows. I got these when I worked at Sephora. I think I ended up winning the entire collection, so I have all of it. And I've barely touched any of it, but the packaging just makes me so happy. It's so fun, different. It reminds me of Rem Beauty Now. It kind of has that same aesthetic, except this was ages ago. So this was definitely the pioneer of that, like, out of this world packaging. And I love it. This is the Courrèges Eye Amplifier in the shade Black Silver. I've used it, again, just a couple times. I'm not big on just singular black shadows, as we could tell with my Dior one from a few weeks ago. I forget about them. I do, because I have black in like every freaking palette too. So I honestly just forget, but super pigmented. Feels lovely. It does have a sparkle in it, and the sparkles are like multicolored. So there's like a purple and a gold and a blue and a green, and they're really, really pretty. It's really nice. I do really like it. I've lost my mind. It's fine. I do obviously have this all over my lid today, just to give a little extra pop with that shimmer, just on a smoky eye. Nothing too crazy, but this is a lot of fun. I do also have it on my waterline. It's not incredibly, like, black is black, as you can tell. It is a little bit of a gray black, so I find that's a little easier to use, honestly, than just a stark, sharp black. Next, whoa, God, what did I just do? Made a mess. This is wow, everything is a mess. This is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Oh Snap. These aren't super old, maybe 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. I got a whole set of them, and I do really like them. They are very creamy. They stay on really well. I love a sharpenable, did I say that right the first time? A sharpenable lip pencil specifically, because I need that sharp tip to get the lines I want. I find that with the retractable, once the tip is gone, it's gone. Like, yeah, you can roll it up a little bit, but it's still kind of a flat head, and the weird sharpenable end thing don't really work. They're not for me. I like the sharpenables with lip pencils specifically, so I really like the ColourPop ones for that purpose. Last, I have the Makeup Revolution, I Heart Revolution, Cult of Revolution, Praline Highlight Palette. Does have a 12-month shelf life. Okay, all right, good. I've had this for probably 5 years. Again, this was part of one of the chocolate collections that I got for Christmas one year, either 4 or 6 years ago. They are a little bit older, but they're still really beautiful. I have it on today, obviously. Blends out beautifully. Love the highlight. It's not 2016 highlight, but it is still there enough that you can see it without being incredibly overwhelming. So I do really like these particularly. The blush has a little bit too much sheen for me, a little bit too much shimmer happening. You know, I find it's more of like a pink highlight than necessarily a blush. So I like to use a matte cream underneath it just to ensure that I am not a disco ball. I don't need to be a disco ball. But other than that, I do really like these. I also have this on my inner corner just to give a little extra pop. And I'm going to keep using this. This was one that I pulled and I was literally like, I have no idea what that is. I looked at my inventory and I was like, what is that product? It is separated by category. So it was in my highlights and I was like, okay, so it's sure. So it's got to be in the drawer with the highlights, but I could not think of what the heck palette this was, which is saying something. It means that I need to use this more. That's what it told me. It said, hey, I need a little more love. Please and thank you. At least it was polite. I think that was everything. That was my entire week 20. I'm excited because I am looking forward to using that gray black with all the shimmer in it. I think that's going to be fun to kind of play with different palettes, different single shadows, and just see what I can do for some different things going on. And it's going to be a good week. I'm saying it. I'm manifesting it. It's going to be a good week. Yep. That's all I've got. Have a wonderful day, evening, weekend, journey in your life. And I will see you next time.